Hey, y'all, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, it's your host, Martinez Sellers, the mental health hygienist, coming to you live and in living color, all the way from Southern California, where the sun still is shining. And baby, we had some beautiful weather out here today, about 80 degrees. Listen, we are loving it. Fun in the sun. And we're so glad that you're joining us for this special edition of Mental Health Matters with Marty, the Friendsgiving edition. And I got all my boys up in here tonight. We're about to show y'all what it really looks like. But listen, let us know you're listening. Give a shout out. Listen, invite some people in because we're about to have a good time in here. We're doing something unique tonight. All of my friends in this Friendsgiving are Black male therapists. You ain't seen a group like this from all parts of the country, and we about to let y'all just listen, have a insight into our lives, what's going on, what we're grateful for, all these things. But I'm going to start it off. I am grateful for these brothers tonight. They have made my life better. They have enriched my life. I am a better therapist. I'm a better man. I'm a better just business person. I'm a better client. That's still questionable. But anyway, I'm just better because of these brothers. And I just want them to know I love them to death. They're my brothers from another mother because they keep me honest. They keep me on my toes. Listen, shout out, shout out. Let us know you're listening. Drop some comments out there. Where you're listening, who's out there listening, and let's make this happen. Okay, now let me remind you, the Mental Health Matters with Marty show is for psychoeducational purposes and psychoeducational purposes only. We are not a substitute for you seeing your therapist. Listen, we're not a substitute. And if you're experiencing any type of psychological, medical, or just downright emergency, don't call us today. Call 911 and get your butt to the nearest urgent care as possible. But if not, this is how we roll. This is what we're doing. So listen, I don't have no intro music tonight or anything. We just coming live, raw for what we're doing. Listen, let me bring all the way from the DMV, who is my boy. We've been knowing each other for a little while. We had a show during the COVID time, but I'm so glad that he's back with me. Come on back to the stage, none other than Thomas Davis.
Yo, what's up, my brother?
What's up, Thomas? How you feeling, man?
I am good. How are you, man?
You know what? We're doing all right out here. How you feeling?
I'm great. I'm excited. I am relaxed. I'm excited to see my family on tomorrow. I'm just excited. Oh, who in the house? GA?
Someone said GA's in the house.
GA?
Miss Minnie, how you doing? Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes. Marty, thank you so much, brother, for another invite to your show, man. I miss you.
Listen, miss you too, brother. Listen, I am grateful for our friendship, our brotherhood, man. We've been sharing so much over the past. We met because of the pandemic.
Yes, we did.
And as quiet as it's kept, I ain't one to gossip. But somebody, I ain't physically met someone, but I ain't one to say anything. But we won't even go there. But you still my brother. I ain't gonna shoot you in the pinky toe like what you gonna did in Harlem Nights.
We're not gonna do it.
He shot her in her pinky toe.
How about this? Yes, that we schedule Della Reese. Thank you, Danny. Thank you. How about, we are going to schedule a trip. I think we should go and have some fun. I'm thinking about let's go to New Orleans. What you say about that?
Now, I love some good food down there at Nolans. They do.
Yeah.
Yes.
How about this? That we really try to work out a time that we can really see each other before 2021 ends. No, before 2021 ends.
What my budget ain't, you talking about hitting my Christmas budget now, baby. I got children's. They still trying to tap into tuition and car notes and all this other stuff. You might have to be in 2022 and pray Marcel Consulting get a bonus or something.
You got it, brother. You got it. But all no, it's great to see you and the panelists tonight. I'm excited about tonight. We're gonna have some fun, y'all. We about to turn up.
Yes. Hey, Miss T.E. Edwards, what's going on, darling? I miss you. Listen, greetings, Carlinda. How are you? Thomas, what are you grateful for? And what has 2021 allowed you to be grateful for?
Honestly, brother, I am honestly grateful for life. I'm grateful for the ability to control myself, control my budget, control my mindset a little more, control my energy. One of the things that it was so funny because I was on the phone with TEL was earlier today, and what I shared with her is the long suffering that I have been putting in, the work, the long hours, the time for my business is now paying off because the fruits of my labor is starting to show. So I'm thankful for you, Marty. I'm thankful for those phone calls. I'm thankful for the advisement that you have given me, that tough love. I'm even thankful to the guest in the back who has poured into me on screen, off screen. This is what it's about. And I'm thankful to be connected with a group of Black men who are out here doing the thing. I'm grateful for everybody, yo.
Yeah, you know what? And it's so important because that we change the look of what therapy is like, and that it's okay not to be okay. And these brothers, I just love them, man. Listen, let's bring them on so we can have some more. Let's stay in the DMV area since we out that way anyway. And this brother here, he's doing some great work in the areas of trauma and all that. We built this wonderful relationship. So I am grateful for none other than Mr. Bernard Owens. Come on, Mr. Bernard. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, brother?
DMV in the house. DMV in the house.
Southwest DC in the house, man. How y'all doing?
Yo, what you just say, sir?
SWDC and HOUSE, sir.
I thought you said Cowboys in the house. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Ain't nobody fooling with the Cowboys this year.
I'm from Detroit,
but you,
man, so unfortunately, I can't join you in that.
Gotcha. It's cool though.
We got the D in the house,
But I think I got your colors on, so. Yeah.
Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving it, brother. Loving it.
I'm surprised he didn't talk about his black and gold, but we're not going to talk about that. Bernard, how you doing, brother? How you feeling?
I'm doing good, man. I'm feeling content and grounded today. So, I take it as it comes, man. Yeah.
Excellent. Lord have mercy. Everybody in the background talk about that got on alpha colors and everything. Y'all know how it is. Listen, Bernard, I'm so grateful that we had an opportunity this year to really meet and to talk about various traumas that we have experienced and all that. And man, I'm just grateful for your passion that you have as being this clinician, this therapist out there making a difference in the DMV area. Bernard, what are you grateful for?
Wow, I was thinking about that when you were asking Thomas, man. I am just grateful for the presence and the power of God in my life, man. Not even on a religious type of vibe, just like a spiritual.
I hear you. You're right.
Just understanding that there's something operating greater than me, and that I don't have to try to do it all myself. So I'm grateful for that today. That presence, that awareness.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
totally agree. Right and how has that really helped to ground you, even in your only in your profession, but in your personal life as well? Because I agree with you.
Well, I'm a doer, right? And so I'm a fixer, I'm a healer, I'm a fixer. So even today, I stopped and was dealing with some things going on with my life, and I stopped and not far from the water and just did some prayer, and I felt better right away. And I felt better because I was like, oh, I don't have to do all this by myself. I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting. So, that's just a personal practice, and meditation and prayer are, it's essential for me.
Right. Come on and teach us how to stay grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Listen, let's bring some more folks to the party, man. Listen, this is I call him my therapist because he's helped me out. He's got this amazing. He back in the ground shaking his head. He is. I don't care. He fires me or he tells me, listen, this brother keeps me so honest. Listen, Bernard, I could be talking to him sometimes. He'd be like, Marty, I don't feel you're grounded right now, and you have too many things on your plate. So how about this? Why don't you call me back when you have some time so we can have an honest discussion? And I'm like, did he just check me or what?
Yes.
But it sounds like in a loving way, and we need that sometimes, right? Like brought you back on course.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bernard, it was needed, sir. It was needed.
That was
Thomas, ain't nobody talking to you right now. This is between me and my therapist. Come on. Let's welcome from the Dallas area, my brother, none other than Danny Ross.
Hey, what's up? We throwing up signs, I guess.
Hey.
Y'all could throw up them gang signs.
Thomas got me going. Thomas got me going.
I ain't gonna say nothing else.
Don't you let Thomas lead you astray.
We're gonna be vibing in a minute. Okay, I can't cut up with y'all like this today.
Oh God.
Right. Yvette, how you doing, Dr. Harris? How are you? Listen. Yes. That's my auntie. Hello, auntie. Yes,
Hey, Miss Key. Happy belated birthday.
Oh, come on now. How you listen? You got to have fun. Danny, I am so grateful and thankful to know you because you have definitely impacted me and as a therapist. You challenged me as a person. Listen, he gave me homework, y'all. I'm like, how you gonna give me homework?
I love homework. Homework is great.
Bernard, I went to him for some counseling, and I was gonna say this Negro. He gave me some homework.
You said it. You know, one of the things I tell people, I'm a teacher. I'm always a teacher, and part of me reinforcing our conversation is through homework.
Yeah.
Reinforcement. That's all.
Yeah. I understand. So, Danny, what are you grateful for?
You know, I'm grateful for second chances, opportunities. As the old folks used to say, being in my right mind, just having the ability of my limbs, and just knowing that I have an opportunity and another chance and another day to get it right.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful to be in relationship with you, Marty. Man, I tell you all the time how you have propelled my career, pushed me into some spaces that I felt uncomfortable, but I always felt that your support was behind me, propelling me. So I give gratitude to you in supporting me and seeing something in me when I didn't see it myself. Seriously,
well, man,
I very much thank you.
This is what we do, man. We got nothing but love for each other, man. And I don't think we don't see enough of we as Black men in the profession supporting and loving and saying, hey, Danny's an expert on grief and this, Bernard's an expert dealing with trauma and some other things. And Thomas, we still discovering what he's an expert about, but that's beside the point.
See, why you
Y'all on it tonight? Y'all on it tonight.
You should have known that was a setup for something. You should have known it was coming.
Ooh, bridle my tongue, Lord. Bridle my tongue.
Thomas, brothers.
Tie my tie.
Yes. Thomas got nothing but love. Listen, Yvette says this, all my limbs moving in order and my senses normal, giving honor to God, First Lady, the ushers, and Deacon Board. Come on. And as they say, and sinners if there be any. Come on, somebody.
Well.
Come on, Lawrence, great space. Thank you so much, Lawrence. We try to we want to create healthy spaces and healthy places for us to be able to shine and do some other things with this. So great. Listen, I want to come all the way. Let's go on over, since we're in the, let's go to the Midwest, if you will, and pick up. Listen, I heard this brother on his podcast, and this brother had a soliloquy that just blew me away. I'm still trying to. Yes, he did. I'm still trying to know how to do what he does. This brother came and bust us up with some knowledge, and like he was reading from Shakespeare. And then he put it down and then put on his cap backwards and say, what y'all got to say? You know, I love this brother. and I can't wait to come out to Memphis and have some good barbecue, and we're going to turn up and everything out there in Memphis. None other than my brother, James Bush.
What's going on, Marty? What's going on, man? How you
James,
doing?
what's going on with you, brother? How you feeling?
Well, first and foremost, I'm definitely glad to see two therapists from my home area. I'm a PG County product. You know, I was born in Providence Hospital.
Yay!
I say born and raised. I ain't never seen no brothers who were therapists, so that's an awesome thing to look and behold right now. And that's the spirit of what we're doing, is just bringing folks together. It's a small world. So that's awesome. That's awesome. But I'm doing well, Marty. I'm doing very well.
Good.
Awesome. Hey, Brother Bush. Marty knows who runs the coast, the East. That's why he stay over here with us.
I get it. You already know, baby.
West Coast is still the best coast. Come on, somebody.
I didn't hear anything. Yeah.
Listen, somebody send Jerron the link. Jerron, man, I'm sorry. I meant to send you the link. Someone sent Jerron the link. He's on the West Coast out here with me. Yes. But anyway, James, man, what you're grateful for, and so glad to have you.
I'm just grateful for life. I'm grateful for, man, the activity of my limbs. I'm grateful, man, just to be in my right mind. And I'm also grateful for insight. The insight that is where you become more emotionally intelligent, more self-aware about who you are in this day and age as a black man in our society or so like that. And those messages and those lessons you can take around and push them to your offspring, and then their offspring, and so it becomes the standard, rather than the exception after the fact. So I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful that just again to be in a company of other brothers who are doing things and we are just making an impact, whether we know it or not. I mean, we're using these different platforms, and we're talented. So the fact is that the stigma that they try to put against us for so many years, we can't even accept that anymore. We can't accept that because we are doing it. You know, we are making an impact, and we know that whatever the powers that be come up against us to try to stifle us, we'll find out another way. So I'm thankful for that.
That's what's up.
Y'all see how powerful this brother is.
That's a word.
Well,
Brother Bush,
we're gonna close the Bible right there.
Pass the plate.
Yes. Now let's bring in this other Bush from this brother from another mother, but not the same Bush mother. But we're so grateful for him. He down south from the dirty south in Florida. But this brother is doing some stuff with some barbershop talk and making it be well made known. He is he put boots to the ground and hitting these brothers up. And doing, y'all, I want us to mimic what he's doing, because he's doing some certifications of mental health awareness to these brothers down here. And so without any further ado, let's bring to this show and this Friendsgiving none other than my brother Pernell Bush.
Man, what's happening? I appreciate you having me on, Marty. I see you trying to spit bars and everything like that.
Right. Get some knowledge.
Out here dropping these bars, man. But listen, man, I'm very excited just to be on this podcast with everyone. And I think, just to see all these black male therapists, right?
Yes.
All the times we get talked about like we're unicorns. But to see that we're out here in abundance. And to me, this is going to be an opportunity to inspire some other young men who look like us to get out into this field.
Right.
So I'm just happy to be here, man. That's what I'm grateful for that at this very moment, just to be amongst you all.
Yes. Listen, share with us the work you're doing, because, man, I love what you're doing. And even this program you're doing about training other black men, especially in barbershops, how to have this, I believe you call it this mental health awareness, in order to do this referral out to getting some help.
Man. So the program that you're talking about in general is our barber mental health advocacy program.
Yes,
where we're going out training barbers in the Florida area, the Central Florida area, to be mental health advocates. So we give them and we arm them with tools and resources to ensure that they're able to provide that to their clients. Because barbers been doing this for years. You know, we all sit in the chair. You know, I'm bald, but I still sit in my barber chair when I get my goatee lined up. And we still right. You know, we still so they already building rapport that a lot of times we as therapists only get to see our client once a week, and they're probably seeing their client once, twice a week, 8 times a month, 10 times a month. So that rapport is a lot stronger. So we're just showing them we teach them our BOLO method, be on the lookout for certain signs and symptoms. We also give them, a resource list to provide to their clients. Right now, going into the 2020 fiscal year, our whole goal is to ensure that every barbershop that we have partnered with have a QR code in their barbershop that their clients can take a picture of and therapists in their area. You know what I mean? Wow. So hey, do that. Right. I'm telling you all that, so y'all can do that in y'all areas, man. Do that in y'all areas. Sincerely.
I like that.
I
like that.
Don't you love that? I love it that we all here, we're not ashamed or feel that it only belongs to us. But I love what you're saying, Brother Purnell, that you want to share this so that we can help our community. Where do we help them? In the barbershop.
In the barbershop.
Isn't that what it's about, though? We all got into this field to help and heal. Right. So in order for us to do that, we understand that a lot of times we can't stand alone. I can't stand alone as a mental health therapist in my office and think I'm gonna do the healing work for this whole community. I have to really go out and galvanize the community members around me. And that's when we were going about it. We have barbershop talk, we have flow detox, where we're utilizing the art of hip hop and therapy to help young people express themselves, right? Because a lot of times I create that for young men. Because when it comes to young men don't want to journal. How many times did y'all journal growing up? I didn't journal.
Right.
Absolutely
not. I didn't journal growing up. So a lot of young men, I say, you know what? But a lot of young men okay with communicating through the art of hip hop and poetry. Right. So we just want to have the opportunity for you to express yourself. We have our Thriving Moms Club, where we create a virtual online support group for moms. Because I had so many single mothers coming to me, bringing their kids to me for therapy, but they all had the same questions. They all had the same concerns. They were all feeling the same exact way when it came to, I don't feel like they was on an island by themselves. But I'm going to digress, man, so we all can get into this conversation together.
No.
Must be here with you all, man.
James, talk to us about how that's so impactful. What you doing? Because James, I see James' mind turning. That brother's already got some stuff going. but even if we did that and take some of the other programs, what programs are you working on, James, right now?
To eat? No, it's
Listen, I know that's right. I'm about to put my collars on here soon.
I mean, most definitely. But I think, man, to be honest with you, being able to serve, man, those communities and those who are disenfranchised, especially who don't have access to resources, who can't get the consistent therapy that they need on a timely basis. We know that the power of therapy, and we know that when we institute it and we come and take that journey along with a brother or a sister, how effective it can be. But how many know the fact is that when managed care runs in there and when they have a deductible that's from first and Godzilla, where man, it's $15,000, $20,000. A lot of people don't have that money, and so what we try to do is we try to come in between that so they can get the necessary help, the aid that they need. And what does that do? That possibly will help them and their children possibly stay out of the face of law enforcement, because we know what the prison school to prison pipeline does, and we know how that will in turn affect them as they go and become adults, become felons, become unable to vote, unable to bear arms, and the list goes on and on. So it's not about just trying to recreate the wheel, but it's about taking what we have and then instituting what we've always been doing, what we've been trained as soon as we got on this rock called America, to circumvent the powers that be in the masses and what they're doing, and then institute what we can do as well. So that's my point on that one.
Come on.
Y'all too intelligent for me. I'm on the wrong panel. I love it. But this is how we support and help each other in so many things. Because Danny, share with us, even because I think what you have with your messages we carry, with all of that and how that works, because it was written, this workbook was written for Black men. And I'm so grateful for that, for messages we carry, as Purnell takes this, his mental health awareness and certification to that, and talking to men about messages we carry, and even as James has said, the from generations from when we hit this thing called America, the messages we carry. So talk to us about Black men and a lot of the messages we carry, the stereotypes and things that we maladaptive thoughts that we have.
Yeah, I think the messages we carry came about from my own experience. First of all, I have to acknowledge me and how, you know, I was maladapted as a youngster and even as an adult. There's some things that I had to work through and I had to ponder and figure out. These things are not working for you. And so most of those things are messages, and then we have to sometimes think about where are those messages coming from. In transaction analysis theory, we talk about the parent and the child relationship. And what I love about that, it is one of the best theories to, I ain't fooling with y'all. It's one of the best theories to encompass what happens with us as Black men and in Black families. We hear messages from our families. Adults who dictate who we are going to become and who we are. And sometimes those messages that we've heard, they don't line up with who you're supposed to be. But sometimes we're living those messages day in and day out. And so the messages we carry is one of those books that allows you to actually do the work, transform your life, really examine some of your thought patterns and what's happening to you and why you act the way you do. I wrote this with my what do you call those people I see every day? My clients in mind. I wrote it with my clients in mind.
Those people, the reason we exist. What are those people?
I'm with my brothers. I lost my train of thought right then, but I'm back.
Right.
But you know, I will say this real quick, Marty. I love the work that I'm hearing, man. Just to hear you guys in these different angles and the creativeness as to how we're trying to help our Black brothers and sisters elevate themselves. So, man, hats off to you guys for everything that you're doing.
Yeah,
but this becomes now empowering because now where else do we get the opportunity just to share different thoughts and what we're doing, and then get support, constructive criticism, constructive feedback, and then I can take some of the messages from Danny and some of the barbershop talk from Pernell and take some of the soliloquies of James and just make it nice and beautiful and all of that and reach different because here's the thing, just like we are different in where we're at in the country, regions of the country, we are also different in our makeup and experiences as Black men as well. Because we've been labeled as just one type of man, where there's so many complexities in who we are and our experiences in that.
Wow.
And can I even say even our traumas and what we may have gone through? Yes. Yes.
Can I add to that, Marty?
Please,
when you were talking about the traumas, a lot of times we've been taught that trauma is only when, you know, I go to war or something really, really huge happens. And sometimes people have to understand it's that thing that reoccurs where you just really can't go on with your life. Cornell, you were
so Danny, man, you know, I just want to come on and chime in.
Come on, jump in.
I'm talking about trauma is the big T's, right? The big T's of trauma, you know, the wars, the car accidents, the firefights, the gunfights, the shootouts growing up, but it's also the little T's. Those little traumatic moments that may occur in your life. And to me, those little T's, because we don't really pay as much attention to them, could be doing the most damage to us. It's almost like if I don't know if you guys, when you was kids growing up, but you ever had like an annoying little brother, little cousin that just be like hitting you, right?
Yes.
And just hitting you. And it don't hurt, right? It don't hurt at first. It just it gets annoying. But that's how I feel like little T at first. The little trauma just
that's good.
That's good. I like that.
So over time, it can start to really make major damaging impact to you, to your social, emotional stability and living life. So yeah, I just want to chime in on that, Dan. I'm gonna give it back to you. Pass it back.
No, it's back on Marty.
Listen. But you're right, Thomas. Give us some more insight, and Bernard, I'm going to throw it over to you as well.
I was going to actually talk about the 3 types of trauma, but we're not talking about trauma tonight. But what I would definitely just want to chime into what Mr. Bush was saying, it's very key and critical to understand the person that you are facing. We know the types of trauma. We know that it's acute. We know that it's chronic, and we know that it's complex, right? But when you are sitting in your sessions, you have to look at the lens and the person that is presented to you. You got to make sure that when you are doing your therapeutic approaches, that it is applicable and it applies to that particular person in which you are serving. And so one of the things that I love that I do with us and with us at Limitless is that we look at the person's full self. Not what's in black and white. Sometimes, honestly, not what the diagnosis is, because at the time that you are doing the assessment, you got to look at those environmental factors. Was it a stressful moment when I did the assessment? Was I doing this because I was made to do it? Was I arguing with my wife or my girlfriend or whoever when I was in that particular moment? So sometimes when you get that skeleton, which is what we call a psychosocial assessment, we got to now do a reassessment when that person is in front of you to figure out what's happening now. And trauma is like this. It does not mean that someone has to hit you in the mouth for you to have trauma. Trauma can be that I had experienced something that was so memorable to me and it's no longer there. A loss of a dog, a loss of a friend, a loss of a house. Those are traumatic experiences that many people deal with, but we call it depression, when in reality, it is called traumatic experiences, which sometimes people are also misdiagnosed as well.
Well, we won't even talk about how many black folks, especially black men, have been misdiagnosed as oppositional defiant or conduct and some of these other ones.
ADHD.
Yes. With that, and how it has made a terrible impact in our lives. I like the big T's and the little T's. Thank you, Trisha. You're absolutely right about that. You know, Bernard, thank you for that. And I know you want to. For those who may not know how to deal, especially in these traumatic times, and I'm going to kind of popcorn this around, guys. What are some tips that we can give to our listeners today on how to deal with their specific traumas or different challenges that they're facing during this season of Thanksgiving? And maybe everyone's not thankful. You know, a lot of us are still dealing with some first and seconds, first time dealing with loss, whether it's job loss of relatives, loss of relationships, because a lot of folks lost relationships because of COVID. And these other things. So Bernard, I'm gonna toss it over to you first, man. What are some tips and that we can help to those who are experiencing challenging times during this time?
First, let me say this has been great being on with you guys. It's like a master class, learning what other therapists and clinicians are doing all over the country. Pernell, I love that idea about how you're reaching folks on the grassroots level with the QR code and things like that. So to all of us, I think all of us, particularly those of us who work in non-Black spaces, how we constantly have to advocate for clients who look like us, become understood and or misdiagnosed. But that can be, I guess, a topic for another Marty show day. But you know, that's a whole ball, you know, to unravel.
We're going on James's show for that one.
Okay, all right. But I'm thinking, man, just like Danny mentioned something about maladaptive behaviors, meaning coping skills that we've developed to deal with trauma that aren't the healthiest for us. And so when you talk about tips as we move our way into what can be and is going to be a difficult holiday season for a lot of the people watching us tonight, I would like to pass along the idea of one, being kind and gentle to yourself, offering yourself some compassion, which is an ongoing process, right? Particularly when you've been absorbing messages throughout your youth, as we talked about earlier, that may not jive with who you want to be or who you'd like to be. And also, so recognizing behaviors that aren't suiting us well and being open to the idea of maybe you don't go see a therapist right away if that's not within your means. James brought up some great points about finances and area, but starting with something. I don't know, whoever resonates with you, Jan Levanzat or Les Brown or whatever, starting where you're at to kind of open yourself up to self-exploration and slowly leveling up. Because you're going to need some skills that are healthy to make it through. This is our first real holiday season since pre-COVID, right? Where we're interacting with other people. And some of those people aren't always the healthiest for us, but we feel like we need to be in those spaces because we couldn't do that last year. So just know that it's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to go by for just a little while and then leave. It's okay to not go at all. You know, you can make up rules for yourself that help you in these times. It's too bad we can't have a mask that we put over our faces to protect us from other people's baggage and trauma that they throw our way. But you know, until there's a vaccine for that, you know, we're gonna have to,
right?
You know what I mean? We're gonna have to start, you know, knowing that it's okay to set up boundaries in terms of how, when, and in what way we interact with people. So
that's
a long answer, but that's the tip.
I love that. It says Black folks give grace to everyone except themselves. Thoughts?
I mean, think about it. I think to me that's a real that's a real statement there.
Right. It is.
Ultimately, we've been conditioned to
that's good.
You know, give grace to this person, that person, but when it comes to ourselves, we're the harshest on ourselves. You know, one of the main things I work with my clients on is their own internal dialogue that they have, their core beliefs that they have about themselves. And really talk about how can we reframe and reposition the way that we feel about those things that we think, act, or feel about, right? So to me, that's so true. It's very true.
I want to add on to that. And sometimes we have to let go of this dialogue that we don't have time and opportunities to feel or to grieve or to deal with things that are going on in our lives. We have an opportunity to change those narratives. We have an opportunity to help people change those narratives. You don't have to be a therapist to say, hey, you don't have to be what everybody thinks you need to be for them. And so one of my biggest things, and just since I have the floor and we're talking about those things that we can do for the holiday, is just give yourself permission to not have to be something. Give yourself that permission to not have to be something.
Danny,
go ahead, Bernard.
Danny, you hitting it on the head, right?
Yeah.
And I once again, I totally agree with you. But you know, yesterday I had a client in my office, and you know, the statement that she kept saying is that I have to be the one there for my parents. I have to be the one that does X, Y, Z. And to me, though, that this I have to be right was doing so much damage to her because it's in her. And as she was saying, she couldn't hear herself saying it, so I kept repeating. So I'm like, why do you have to be? And it wasn't until I repeated what she was saying out loud for so many years that she started thinking, like, why do I have to be? Because you're not giving yourself any room. You know, so I think for us as therapists, as Black men, and as just in the space to help our clients to really realize some of the things that are saying themselves, some of the things that they're, you know, like I said, this weight they're putting on themselves, because it's wearing her down. You know, this client I'm working with, she you know, just recently got the correct diagnosis. She been told, I like, no, you're not just depressed, you have bipolar. Nobody's paying attention to manic stages, right? So misdiagnosing and all this stuff. So I digress. All I'm saying is that we have to be and have to be truly aware of what's going on within our community, within our culture, and help with these dialogues, because we've been saying it for so long to ourselves. Like she's been saying that one phrase, I have to be, for so long that it became a core belief.
Yes.
Those messages.
Pernell, if I could jump in right quick, I had someone similar share the same thing to me. And I broke down 2 words: expectations and manipulation. Sometimes your expectations leads to someone manipulating you, and you have to understand the difference between the two. And when you say I have to be somewhere, no, you don't, because it is expected from someone else that you must be there. And that expectation, sometimes, if it gets in the wrong person's hands, they use that expectation of your kindness, the expectation of your willingness, the expectation of your givingness, to use it to manipulate you, because they know what? You're going to always be there.
Yeah.
And so I broke that down with the client literally today. Sometimes you got to understand that you cannot be everything. And I'm talking to self as I'm talking to you guys. Sometimes you can't, because sometimes you got to hear it for yourself before you can speak it out to everybody else. So I'm now talking to Thomas. Sometimes you can't be everywhere all the time. And you have to be okay with that.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I like the idea too. If sometimes we get into these things, Pernell, as you're talking about your client, and Thomas, it sounds like your client was similar. I challenge the client gently to try to get to the root of what is the secondary gain of you labeling yourself as the one who has to do it.
The why.
If you're the one who has to do it, what is the secondary gain? What is the payoff for you? Well, then you get to make up an excuse as to why you're not handling this area or that area, or taking care of yourself as well as you want to, because you maybe that's been put on you, but at a certain point you decided to own it. So I mean, these are all things we think about. And again, like Thomas said, I'm also talking to myself. Like what are the secondary gains we get out of stepping in the fire and being the martyr all the time for other people's situations.
That's real.
Yes. Don't you hate when you're giving advice to your clients and challenging them, that you're internally challenging yourself? You're like,
Hey, look, hey, Marty. Actually, man, I be like the Wayne brothers and Don't Be a Minute Sound Sensitive. Message.
Listen, me too.
Message. I like that.
I needed that too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes it works out for all our benefits, because it's like, oh man.
Right. All the time. You're like, we're not just a subscriber. What did it say? We're just not a subscriber. We're a participant as well.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir. James, talk to us about some advice and tips that you would give to someone who might be struggling during this time.
Well, I mean, you mentioned a couple different things, such as like the loss of a relationship. And one of the things that I kind of encourage those who have gone through that process is, well, should I give you a real quick CTE? And it's not bad the head trauma that's plagued the NFL, but it's something that happens after a breakup, after a mess up, or after a divorce. Right. And so it's called community, it's called time and space, and it's called embracing the now. And when we come into the parts of community, we're looking at it from the standpoint of that you can't do this alone. Going through these circles, going into these spaces by yourself, with yourself, just having those conversations, as I think my brother Bernard said earlier, having those internal dialogues with yourself, that is not healthy. That is not, and you need other individuals to talk you off the ledge. And also, you say time and space, because sometimes when you have that time and space, you have that insight. You start looking at what happened, because again, when you have a loss like that, that is what we were referring to earlier, a trauma, a traumatic experience that's taking place. And it's in this day and time that we have to start normalizing that these things do happen. Just like, people like to eat chicken and eat pork and all of that kind of stuff. Traumatic experiences do happen every day on the day. And so now we have to embrace that. We have to look at now embracing it. What does our now look like? And how do we move forward through the process? And so those are some of the things that I try to offer them. CTE, we try to offer to my clients. Why? Because I think it's necessary. People get stuck in these different places. They start doubling back into unhealthy behaviors, the drinking, the smoking. And don't get me wrong, man. Everybody like to have a little nip every now and then, but at the same point in time, moderation. You start to use that as a crutch, as opposed to something, man, who is just taking the edge off. That's the thing that I see with a lot of brothers and sisters, especially during this time period, is having the necessary tools. And when we have the necessary tools, we can build the edifice that's necessary for our lives.
Hey, James, say that one more time, because when you said CT, I thought about Corporate Thug Entertainment. Say
no. Hey, look.
You Pernell.
I make sure everybody heard it again, man. I heard community, heard time, I heard experiences.
Man, wait, cuz Jesus loved Jesus. I'm just gonna put that out to you right now. Jesus loved Jesus. But it's CTE, it's community, it's time and space, and it's embracing now. That's what I think is You know, for a lot of our therapeutic practices, they teach us that being in the here and now. With Gestalt therapy, being in the here and now, not living in the past. There's things and lessons to be learned from the past, but right now at this point, not living there. We have to move forward, and when we get stuck in that place, man, we're no good to ourselves, and we're no good to anybody in that process.
Can I just hop in with James Bush? I utilize a lot of reality-based therapy principles. That's about the here and about the here and now, right?
Here and now. Oh yeah, right now.
That's about the here and now, right? So what we are launching here at Limitless Possibilities is the gift that keeps on giving from now until 2022. And the gift is GIFT. Pernell, I'm on acronyms now too, brother. Thank you so much. We got to understand the importance of what a gift is, right? It's not just a box. It's not just money. It's not just things that you get that's tangible. The things that we got to encourage my fellow black male therapists, we got to encourage our therapists to give the gift, model the gift, teach the gift, show the gift that keeps on giving during these tough times. Because we know that the society is going to say, you got to spend money. You got to get the new MacBook. But why not show them some some grace? Why not be intentional with what we're doing? Why not have a little bit of fun in between? And why not be thankful that we are still here and alive? And why can't we just be safe during this time? And I'm not just talking about the pandemic. Be safe with your emotions. We still on the reality-based principle, by the way, because the reality therapists tell us that we got to change our thoughts and our behaviors. So while we are changing our thoughts and our behaviors, we got to be safe. We got to avoid that late night text message. We got to tell our clients, don't answer that phone call.
Wait a minute.
Come on. Hey,
Wait a minute, Thomas.
Yes, sir.
I was on board until you say, ignore that late night test message. I was rocking out with you into that very moment, because I like the gift. I like the grace, intentional, fun. What was the T?
Thankful, and safe.
Rocking out with it, man. I like it.
I like that. I
I know the late night test message though. I'm just saying, possible. I'm rocking.
How about? You know what? But all I'm trying to say though, we as men especially, we need to let people know that it's okay to just say, I need a moment. And we have to teach those principles along with them. So what I like to do, I know the history, I know all of the theorists, but when we are dealing with people of our kind, they don't want to hear those principles.
Therapeutic.
You got to make this thing relatable. You got to be approachable with when you are dealing in the DC, DMV area. Shout out to my team. We have to go out in the fields and we got to make this thing normal.
Thomas, I do want to. Wait a minute. How you gonna give a shout out to your team and the rest of us can give shout out to our teams?
Because I just did.
Thomas, I do.
Take him off the show. Go ahead,
Thomas,
Danny.
Can I add to what Thomas is saying? I think one of our great qualities as Black therapists is we have to manipulate the theories to fit our culture.
That part.
Yes.
And not everybody has to do that.
And we do this like poetry, Danny. Rewind. Say that again.
We have to learn how to manipulate our theories that were created by westernized cultures. These were not created for us. These were not created with us in mind. But I think we have to bring our culture into the experience, which is like that's the creativeness of our culture. That's the beauty of our culture.
Right.
We work with what we have. And so when I get opportunities and I have all of these things in front of me that I can use, I don't know how to act because many a time my pastor preached something about living on the leftovers. we have had to live on the leftovers and make meals out of nothing. And I think sometimes that's what we have to do when we manipulate the theories in therapy so that they can help some of our clients. Because as you said, Thomas, some of that stuff just doesn't work the same way for our people. So I'm glad that you said that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
But I think we have a great talent and skill of like you said, manipulating us to make, because a one size does not fit all. We already know that it does not fit all. We can talk about don't be a menace. We can talk about shooting in the pinky toe. We can talk about coming to America, talk about sexy chocolate. But in that we know how to manipulate and change it so it's relatable to what we need.
What we do.
In those
Code
moments.
switching is what we do. That's what we do.
Yeah,
that's what we do all the time as Black men in predominantly white spaces. At least in my case, constantly making it, translating it, making it, translating it and make it relatable so that we can assist our clients.
Right. Exactly.
I don't know if y'all consider to me, we're bilingual and trilingual. That's how I was to everybody. I'm bilingual. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because code switching, a lot of time it goes over people's head and I say code switching. So I'm bilingual. If you don't understand what I mean by that, I'll show you in a moment or two.
But don't you even find that even in different sects of our country, there is a different dialogue that happens even in our own communities.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. You from the South now? Wait a minute. What part of the South? Because you part of Florida South, which is different from Texas South, which is way different from Southern California. In that, so understanding that as well. But that's what oftentimes we don't get credit for being so versed in. Go ahead,
Marty. I tell you this.
Yeah.
Even though you broke down the distinctions of country, and I love that, I'm gonna tell you something. There's something so beautiful and special about I'm here in DC and was at a CVS when I was in January was going on. I went by CVS and there was a working in there, and I had seen her before, but I don't know her. And I said to her when I went in there this day, because there were Trumpsters right outside the store. I said to her, "Hey, how you doing?" And she's like, "Fine." I said, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." She said, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then I leaned to her and I looked in her eyes and I said, "Are you okay? You good?" And the change, she knew what I meant. And that,
exactly.
You know what I mean? We can talk to each other that way, way with clients.
Right.
That's what so powerful as a people, man. Just that change in tone and lets us know that we're safe with each other. So important.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Who we are as clinicians, what we bring. Yeah.
Yes.
Man, listen, everybody don't drop their acronyms tonight. We don't have James dropped his around here, cuz I see Thomas dropped his around here. So what I want to make sure I tell people to do throughout this holiday season to make sure that they rock out with themselves, man. Be your rock.
I like that.
So throughout this holiday season, man, I want you to relax. That R's relax. Embrace the moment that you're in. Oftentimes we talk about resting, but we have to really get to that place of relax to really get into a real state of rest. And then be open to what's going on. Open to those who are trying to give you holiday cheer, your loved one. Be open to new experiences and connect with those around you. This past year has probably been one of the most toughest years for all of us. We have all been, isolated, and we have not been able to connect with those around us. So I want you to rock out, man. Rock out with yourself. Be your own rock. Be a rock for those around you. So
love that.
Had to drop one.
Yes.
Hey, Marty, can I say this?
What?
2 hour listening. Watch your tone. 2 hour.
I heard that.
2 hour listening audience, y'all. What I'm taking away is the fact that, and what we are illustrating, y'all, is that we are taking notes. Like I'm taking down acronyms. I wrote down CTE. I wrote down rock. Imagine if we all did the same thing when you interface with somebody else. Don't be afraid to learn from somebody. We are all educated men on this platform, but we are never too big enough to learn from somebody else. So, Marty, thank you for that platform, man. This was dope.
It's been great, man.
It was dope.
Listen, y'all are the bomb. You know, I want to keep our time, and our hour is up, man. We just getting started, but listen, I love each and every one of you brothers with real
love
talk.
you back.
And y'all are my idols. You guys keep us honest. And there's so many other brothers, and I could not have done this show without each and every one of you. And real quick before we leave and everything, quickly tell us 30 seconds or less your handles and your last wishes you want to do. Let's start with Danny Ross. Go, Danny.
Themessages.net. Go there. You can find all my resource, all my literature, everything that I have. Make sure you connect to the site, and you can follow all my live streams, all my books, everything.
Love it. Thank you, Danny. Most definitely. Don't mind. Listen, Jonathan, thank you so much, Jonathan, for always joining us. Pernell, how do we get a hold of you, brother?
Definitely, man. So on Instagram, you can find me as @DJuggernaut_therapist. That's @DJuggernaut_therapist. That's how you can find me on Instagram. But when it comes to Facebook, LinkedIn, find me as Pernell Bush. And I love to connect with you all and, let you know what we got going on down here in the great state of Florida.
Love that, Florida. Yes. Brother Bernard.
Yes, sir. Look for me to releasing my first book this spring. The title of the book is The Only Thing Wrong With You is that you think something's wrong with 10 steps to actualizing your power. So that's been a journey and an ongoing conversation for myself, and hopefully it'll benefit some other people. You can find me at BAscends, BASCENDS on Instagram or here on Facebook, Bernard Owens, and there'll be more information about the book and pre-orders and all that stuff in the coming weeks. So looking forward to that.
Love that. Listen, congratulations, man. And on this, love it. Brother James, how do we get a hold of you and listen to your podcast?
Definitely. So what you could do is I'm on all popular podcasting platforms. It's Mind of a Man Podcast. Matter of fact, you also can go and type in a YouTube search, Mind of a Man Podcast, James Bush. I'll pull right up. And also, if you want to look in my private practice office, just type in the Google search, James Bush, Nashville. I'm on the top.
Love that. Listen,
awesome.
You hear him say, I'm on the top. Come on, brother. That's right. Be on the top. Yes. And Thomas.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Marty. You can follow me on Instagram, which is Limitless Outcomes. On that page, you will see links to the website and to other promotional activities and programs that we have. The link to the website is also listed there as well. And Marty, without further ado, when the pieces of the puzzle come together, workbook is complete.
What?
Come on. It's done. It is finished.
Done.
Man.
That's awesome.
And the workbook, Marty, is simply in life. We got to find that missing piece that makes us stuck. And when that piece comes together, our life is complete.
I love that. I love it. Listen, all y'all brothers gonna make us all write some stuff. I love it. Listen, I again thank you guys. If I don't talk to you before Thanksgiving, have an amazing time spending time with those loved ones. Let's make sure we do the CTE. Let's give some gifts and definitely let's rock it out. Definitely.
Right. Right. The Capital Entertainment version.
I'm about to wild my widows down with that CTE, that Jeezy version for a while. I'm rocking out with it too, though.
That's right. Let's rock it out. Listen.
Jesus love Jeezy.
I know that's right. Well, listen, y'all. Listen, thank you for joining us for this amazing edition of Friendsgiving with my boys, with these amazing Black male therapists. We got nothing but love, and we wanted to show you something different, that there is love amongst us in this community of Black male therapists. Yeah. There is no jealousy. There's no hatred. Mm-hmm. Listen, we want to help push and all of us together, and we want you to know if you need help, especially with our Black men, there are some therapists who look like you, who have your experiences and who want to help you to live and have your best life. So listen, on behalf of all of us, have an amazing Thanksgiving. We'll see you next week as we continue the series, What About Dad? God bless. We'll see you later. We'll see you next Tuesday. Take care now.
Already.